Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
That kid is back on the escalator again.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Here's my boomstick!
Game over, man. It's game over.
Welcome to the Bargain Bin. He's your host, Ben Mason.
He is your co-host, Sandra Luketic. And today we're talking 2009's Dragon Ball Evolution, a request from listener Cody. We assume if you're listening to this episode, you have already seen the movie. I am calling you out.
Call me out.
This is our third attempt at this recording.
Yes.
I never thought I'd have to talk about this movie as much as I have.
Now, in my defense, the first failed attempt was a technology issue. It was not my issue. The second one was me forgetting to hit record.
So take 3.
So
Thank God. Thank God I love talking about this movie so much. This is exactly what I want to do with my Thursday afternoon.
I was going to ask you what your history with the movie is, despite the fact that I know the answer, but I'm starting to think that now you have a deeper history with recording an episode about this movie than you do with the movie.
You know what my history with this is? Hate. I have not read the manga.
To that.
I have not seen you. This is all your fault. I have not watched the anime. I don't know anything about it except for what you told me twice before already. So I'll reiterate what no one else has heard me say. The movie is directed by James Wong, who we know is a writer, not a great director. He has written 21 Jump Street episodes. Not 21 episodes of Jump Street, but episodes for 21 Jump Street. Booker, The X-Files, American Horror Story. I need to know what you know about Dragon Ball because I've never heard you talk about it before.
So, my history with the movie is that I did watch it once when it came out because I was a fan of the Dragon Ball Z franchise. That is actually the sequel to Dragon Ball, which take place on a second generation. So my knowledge of the actual events of this movie, which I have been told and have heard in social media, which are not close to what happens in Dragon Ball, is not as reliable. But even what I see the evolution of the characters, see what I did there, in Dragon Ball Z doesn't line up with what happens in this movie either.
Okay.
Now, I did only watch it the one time, and it was well after it was out of the theaters and the negative reviews were already out. So, I had lowered my expectations going into it, and that still wasn't enough. And then I watched it 4 times for this recording.
Yeah.
So I've seen it plenty, and I gotta be honest with you, it's terrible. There's no, do they like it? Don't they like it? Let's wait till the end of the episode to find out. This is a bad movie.
It is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Why did Cody pick this for us other than pure torture?
So at the time of the selection, Akira Toriyama had recently passed away, as he wrote in the reasoning, and he thought it would be nice to do something based on his work. Nice. Yeah, nice is maybe not the right word.
Let's shit on his legacy.
Yes, let's do that. So let's just dive into the movie because I know you've never talked about it and you are eagerly anticipating it.
I'm itching, let me tell you. So we do start off with an info dump, which I've told you many a times. I absolutely love when movies do that. I'm just going to read it really quickly. In a time before many can remember, our planet faced its greatest challenge. A warlord named Piccolo came from beyond the stars, bringing darkness and chaos to our once peaceful world. Aided by his disciple Uzaru, the evil pair brought the human race to the brink of annihilation. Cities and countries crumbled beneath them, countless lives were lost. But, finally, a group of brave warriors created the Mafuba, a powerful enchantment that imprisoned Piccolo deep within the earth. With his master captured, Uzaru disappeared, and balance was slowly restored to our world. And so it has remained for thousands of years, until now. Best part of the movie.
Except for the fact that you don't go into an action-based movie that is done on the works of an anime and expect just info dumps. That's not how you get the crowd invested.
You also don't introduce an origin story with an origin story.
Okay, well, how are you supposed to know what happened before?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to know anything about this at all, because when you watch it, the whole thing is just fucking confusing and makes no sense. It is one of the biggest garbage films I have ever seen. I don't care about Piccolo being imprisoned in Earth. How did he get out of the Earth?
Oh, I don't know. Apparently
I
that
know.
prison they developed was not very fortified.
Yeah, the Mafu Ba apparently sucks. Whatever that enchantment was. Imprisoned him or put him there until he decided to leave? I don't know. Uzaru disappeared. And, I mean, spoiler alert for anybody who's not seen the movie yet, and heads up, don't. But if Ozaru is Goku, how is Goku a teenager? And this was thousands of years ago. He's in high school. Has he been in high school since the origin of high school? Is he living in the mountains? It doesn't matter, because what we get is just a training session between Goku and his grandfather Gohan. Okay,
so I'm going to try and piece this together, okay? They don't tell us this in the movie, but I'm going to try and piece it together. So I think May, who we see with Piccolo, must have freed him. How? That doesn't matter, okay? Now, for anyone who is familiar with Dragon Ball, they know that all Saiyans, as long as they have their tail, turn into the giant ape creature when there is an eclipse. So it is possible that the Umaru that is being discussed in the origin is a different Saiyan, even though I believe when Goku came to Earth and was adopted by Gohan, he was by himself. But that's irrelevant. It could have been that another Saiyan came to Earth.
Oh, that's irrelevant?
Yeah, well, hey, I'm trying to piece this together, okay? And then, as for the info dump at the beginning, couldn't that have been like a scene that they, had with like Master Roshi over like a fire at some point? Like, you can put it in the middle of the movie, leave a little bit of intrigue.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, you know what? I can't piece this together.
I know. They don't even talk about, like, he doesn't have it. Like, where do the tails come into play?
Yeah, they're not in this. Because in Dragon Ball, if you lose your tail, like if it gets cut off, you no longer transform.
But he doesn't have a tail.
Yeah, they just pretty much got rid of that part of the lore entirely. I mean, how weird would it be if Goku was walking around high school with a tail?
Oh yeah, how weird would that be? Because everything else in this movie is normal.
Hey, if you just take the high school in and of itself, it's a pretty normal high school, right? Like, no.
I guess.
In fact, if he had a tail and was homeschooled because he couldn't go to school with a tail, it would make a little bit more sense for his social awkwardness and isolation.
Yeah, I agree. That would actually make the movie a little bit better. This training session we get between Goku and his grandfather Gohan. Rope fighting kind of thing. I don't know. You describe this because it's ridiculous to me.
Well, it's essentially like a anime version of Joust, right? You got to knock your opponent off the rope. First one to hit the ground loses. And they try to convey that kind of over-the-top animation style that you see in like these anime shows into live action. And honestly, it doesn't really work very well with the sequences because a lot of the movements especially seem like, like for example, they jump and it's like, where's the arc? They're just going from point A to point B. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what else I can say. Like, Gohan is a regular human, and yes, humans in this world do have some extraordinary powers, but like, Goku's an alien. He should have a little bit more of a leg up.
Yeah, so we get this like geriatric magician and this alien monkey man. And oh god. The one thing I brought up the last two times we recorded this is that Gohan says the first one to touch the ground loses, and he supports himself from falling by using his stick to hold himself off the ground. And I say he loses.
That's a foreign object, though. He's not touching the ground.
Yes.
In the same, there's posts holding up the rope. Is touching the rope touching the ground?
I don't know, but I mean, if you can use your stick to stop yourself from falling, then landing on your feet means your shoes touch the ground. Your feet didn't.
Oh, maybe they were barefoot.
They were not.
You don't know that. Maybe their feet are just alien feet that look like shoes.
You know what? Fine. Let's go with that. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Can we talk about the lead actor here?
Sure.
First of all, Justin Chatwin, this Timu version of Billy Joe Armstrong.
Easy.
Okay, I just had to say it, but in all actuality, I think that he's actually a very good actor, and I think that he does a decent job in this role, despite all of the shortcomings that the role actually provides him, giving him absolutely no good material to work with. But, they definitely did whitewash this.
Yes.
And if that is the case, I don't mind him in the role. I think if the movie was written better and had a better script for him to work with, that we wouldn't necessarily complain about him too much.
I have no problem with him. I actually kind of like him in this movie. I just think the character's dumb.
Some of my favorite moments in the movie, which are not plentiful, are based on his charm. And some of his awkwardness does come off as a little charming.
Yeah, it does. I cannot argue that. We get the introduction of the notion of a person's ki, which Gohan assures Goku is his greatest weapon. And as you said in previous attempts at this recording, ki is a word you're going to hear a lot.
You don't have to keep reiterating that we've done this multiple times.
No, people need to know this. That's why I'm so angry. I'm not normally this upset, but this is what you get. This is what you get.
So the listeners can know that when Ben finished watching this movie, he was actually quite ecstatic and happy. He loved it. It was my shortcomings that made him this angry. Otherwise, you get a very cheerful, positive version of it.
I watched this movie this morning in preparation for this episode. I watched it at 1.3 speed, and it was still too long. Apparently, Goku is not doing well at school socially, as mentioned, and asks his magic grandpa how to get the girl, how to talk to her, how to be normal. Because obviously Gohan is a pro with that. Makes no sense.
We don't even have evidence that Gohan was married before? Do we?
No, I think we're just led to assume that before we find out that Goku is an alien.
But, Goku's adopted, so there doesn't need to be a lineage. There doesn't,
You don't see the familial resemblance?
Why doesn't he call him dad? Right? We don't know. It's just because of an age thing. He's grandpa. But as I mentioned in previous recordings, if we're going to keep bringing that up.
Well, we don't have to. I mean, we can if you want to.
Goku doesn't have anyone else. He's awkward. Look at him. He goes to school. He doesn't have any friends with him. He doesn't seem to have any, teachers that he gravitates to, mentors. Gohan is all he has. So while it might not be the best source of information for this, it's a source of information, and that's all he's got.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Sandra, it's Goku's birthday. What does his grandfather give him as a gift?
Chicken feet.
Are we really going down this road?
A Dragon Ball.
You really want to do this? Yes, a Dragon Ball. Of which there are only 7 in the world. And Gohan knows how important it is. So why would you give it to a high school senior as a birthday gift?
Well, because where else are you going to put it? I still firmly believe that Gohan had some sort of sense of foreboding, some foreshadowing that his time was coming up. And based on, the prophecies we hear and things like that, that while Goku might not be the best choice, because yes, it is just like a high school kid, and what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Keep it in a chest surrounded by garbage?
We'll get to that.
Again.
Yes. Again. Thank you for bringing that up. We're also told when you have all 7 Dragon Balls together, they grant you one perfect wish. And we've talked about how I find it strange that the wish has to be perfect. Why can't it just be a wish?
Yeah. In Dragon Ball, you summon the Dragon Shenron, and he just grants you one wish.
Chicken feet. At school, we meet the bully Fuller, who drives over Goku's bicycle. Again, this is perfect high school movie fare, and I love this stuff. We also get the introduction to Chi-Chi, who will become Goku's love interest.
Why does Fuller hate Goku so much?
I don't know. He's an asshole.
Yeah, but you can't really see Goku being social enough to even get in someone's way.
You pick on the outsider, man. Have you never gone to high school?
You consider an alien from another planet that's socially awkward the outsider? Come on, man.
By definition alone, yes. Hell, give him the tail. Then we cut to an airship where we meet Piccolo and Mai. I'm going to ask you to describe these two because it just seems so weird to me.
So Piccolo is a green alien. He is a Namek. He makes sense. No, Namekian from the planet Namek.
Okay.
He makes sense somewhat close to like the imagery of the anime character because it was a green alien. It did have like two little antennae, but I don't know where to start with May because I think she was created for the movie. Unless she was in the original Dragon Ball and my knowledge is not, prominent enough to know her, I don't recognize that character at all.
I think we should mention too that Piccolo is played by James Marsters, who I think is probably the second largest name in this movie.
Oh, third.
Third?
Well, yeah. Who would be number one?
Chow Yun-fat.
Okay, and then Ernie Hudson.
Oh yeah, bit role, but yeah, I'll go with you on that one.
I mean, for the bigger name, he's a bigger name.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll get to why that scene breaks my heart later.
In a village recently destroyed, Mai collects another Dragon Ball, which then just without your explanation, which I believe does make quite a bit of sense. I do find it strange that Gohan just gave his Dragon Ball to a teenager.
See, here's the thing. We don't know what happened in that village. So for all we know, that Dragon Ball was sitting on someone's like night table in the village and they just destroyed the whole thing looking for it. It's not like we don't know it was in like a vault or guarded by anyone. We just know that it was in this pile of rubble that used to be a village.
Yeah, for as important as these are, no one really seems to give a shit.
No, no. And you see, later on, you find out that there's all these like secret societies and stuff. And it's just like, why weren't they hunting them already then to put them into safekeeping?
In Goku's science class, they discuss a total solar eclipse. Goku dreams about Chi-Chi. Again, more typical teen movie fare. I really wanted more of this. It would actually make me care about the characters a little bit more. But they ditched this almost immediately after the party scene that's coming up.
I wanted Goku to be like fantasizing about Chi-Chi, not in a perverted way, get your mind out of the gutter. And then it's just like, turn around.
Oh, God.
No?
No.
No, okay.
Just needed some BMX dancing. After class, Goku uses his key to open lockers because Chi-Chi's locker is stuck shut. But he does it from a distance, very secretively and very creepy because he's an outsider, monkey man.
You know what's interesting about this scene?
Nothing?
That she couldn't open the locker with her key, but he could open it with his key.
Oh my God. This movie's bad enough already. I don't need those kind of puns.
Hey, in my defense, you didn't hear that for the third time.
No, that's true. That's true.
I've had opportunities to practice these.
Yeah, those are just training for you. That's awesome. I'm biting my tongue. I'm trying not to swear. I really am.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Chi-Chi doesn't find this the slightest bit weird, though. Even though all the locker doors fly open and papers go throughout the entire hallway.
No, she actually seems somewhat intrigued. Like she wants to know more about it, and she's looking to see like, oh, who did that? And kind of catches a glimpse of Goku, but it's like she's clearly not put off by it.
If your reaction to all of the locker doors flying open and all that shit going all over the hall, and your immediate reaction is, I wonder who did that. There's something wrong with you.
You're in Nova Scotia, so you're like hurricane.
No, I'm in Nova Scotia. I'm like, these lockers are haunted.
Yeah, I guess that's true too.
Hurricane, sure. Chi-Chi invites him to a party at her house that night. Because why not?
It's a teen movie. Right? Teen movie in school, you got a party.
Yeah. I mean, we never really actually see the party so much. We see the outside of it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But back at the house, Gohan's preparing chicken feet stir fry for Goku's birthday dinner, which is pretty funny.
See, now, this is why I believe Goku was able to ask him advice on love, because clearly this man Gohan has much love in his heart. Yes, it might be for chicken feet, but he feels that love.
Oh yeah, he's totally into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he especially when he's sucking the meat off those toes. Good goddamn.
Yes. See, and that's where you actually take these emotions and you start to scratch the surface.
Chicken scratch.
Yes.
Upstairs, Goku preps for the party, gelling his hair, because joke here is Goku always has crazy pointy anime hair.
Actually, that's not the point, Ben.
What's the point? That is point. They're all pointy.
He is such a powerful martial artist that even his hair cannot be defeated by gel.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Am I making you love the movie more?
Yo, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm having a blast. Let me tell you.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna buy this movie, and I'm just gonna have it on repeat. I'm gonna go get all the anime and all the manga and read it. You know what? I'm just gonna promote this. We should change the name of the podcast.
I mean, you say all that jokingly, but I would recommend watching Dragon Ball Z. It's pretty fun.
I am never going to do that.
Okay.
But yes, I did get a chuckle out of this joke because, of course, his hair will not stay down.
Yeah.
Again, I really don't mind this actor. He's doing the best with what he's got.
Well, you know, when you do a little sight gag like that, you don't have to rely on a good script.
Yeah. Speaking of which, why take the Dragon Ball to the party?
Well, he's a dumb high schooler who is trying to impress Chi-Chi.
And why not tell Gohan that he's going to the party?
Lack of experience with social circumstances?
Sure. Fuller's thugs fight Goku outside the party. Thoughts on this fight?
I actually really like this fight.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Like, he says that he's not going to hit them and anything like that, and it's almost entirely just evasive maneuvers, but it's so well planned out and strategic that they're actually doing the damage themselves. And I think that this scene might be one of the best choreographed fight scenes, just in the way that they're trying to convey something in a very clever and unique way.
Yeah, they did a great job here. I do have to admit that. I love how Goku basically makes Fuller destroy his own car. I thought that was really funny. The head slide on the car roof is pretty dumb, though. I think we can agree on that.
Visually, yes, it is very dumb. That could have been any sort of other dodge, but hey, in Street Fighter 2, you'd get a lot of points for this.
You really would. You know, it's bad when I'd rather watch Street Fighter than this. So, bonding moment between Goku and Chi-Chi. The reveal that he doesn't know what happened to his parents, but we'll find out on his 18th birthday, which is tonight, I guess. And you know what? I have a real big problem with this, man. Because they set it up like this is going to be a big thing. He's going to find out what happened to his parents. All we find out is that he's an alien.
Yeah, you never find out about the actual parents.
Yeah, never. Why bring this up? Who edited this? Stop it.
No one. These are all first take.
It feels like it. Good God. Mai attacks Gohan. Piccolo then makes the house collapse, which honestly is a pretty creative death. Somehow Goku senses this through this movie's version of the Force.
Ki.
Is it the Ki, though?
Ki is like the Force in that it's universal to everything for them.
Okay, so they can manipulate physical objects, and they have psychological connections and psychic connections, I should say.
Yeah, like their spider sense, Ki sense.
Fine. Gohan fills him in on some needed plot, telling him to find Master Roshi and collect the Dragon Balls. And to remember, always have faith in who you are.
Which he doesn't know who he is.
No, he doesn't know.
Have faith in who you are. Who is that?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I here?
Oh, we had the same idea.
Yeah, can you imagine if Goku is just Jerry? Stepfather, that'd be amazing. Goku buries his grandfather. I'm also not sure that you can just bury a body anywhere you want to, but I don't know how this world works.
Who's going to stop him?
He returns to the house, which is somehow now still standing, just with major damage, even though the entire thing collapsed in a previous scene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He finds his gi, then meets Bulma, played by Emma Rossum, and her Promethean orb was stolen, and she tracked it to the house. I don't think I could be more done with this movie at this point, and we're still at the opening.
Yeah. There's a lot of issues with this, and honestly, if she has a detector for, tracking down the energy signal of the Prometheus orbs or Dragon Balls, why did she never know there was more than one?
I don't know. She should, right? It should show multiple.
You would think so, because even if she, I'm assuming she didn't just create it once hers was stolen, because you probably need it to be able to create that. I don't know how that works exactly. I mean, science. But if this existed, you'd think it'd be giving off multiple signatures because there are 7 of them. But apparently not. She's not a very bright, smart person.
Oh, but the movie tells us she is, and she has
that's
a
what I
master's
mean.
degree.
She's a smart person that's not very bright.
Yes. I also love how she's been calling it a Promethean orb her entire life, but as soon as Goku calls it a Dragon Ball, immediately from this point on, they're just called Dragon Balls.
Well, because she heard it from someone who comes from a place of knowledge.
Space?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I got nothing, man. I can't
neither did this movie. This movie has nothing. It's pointless. So you said she created a tracker for Dragon Ball Energy, or DBE, which she finds cute. Like I said, I don't believe her to be a genius.
I mean, in the show, she is. She invents like everything.
That's great. This isn't the show, but they team up because no. After we're done talking about this movie, we never talk about Dragon Ball ever again.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on her ride?
I love the capsule vehicle. This is great.
What? Why?
Because it folds up into like nothing. It's like super convenient and handy.
Okay.
What, is that a tough pill for you to swallow?
Stop it. I think it's really dumb. Really, really dumb. But they get a signal of another Dragon Ball nearby. So, again, I'll go back to your point. What was she tracking if she only thought there was one?
Yeah. And I'm curious how she latches onto these signatures, because, like, is it the closest one by proximity? Because it's not hers or his. It's a completely different one now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So they stop and look in a phone book for Master Roshi. She couldn't find anybody named Roshi in the book. And another moment that actually did make me chuckle a bit was Goku saying, "Did you look up Master Roshi?" And she looks at him like, "You're an idiot." And he just starts spelling out Master. Like, yes, he is an idiot, but this is funny. This is actually that's the thing. Funny.
He doesn't get the social interaction. So he's taking her confused look as like, how can you honestly believe it would be under Master, as, oh, maybe she doesn't know how to spell it. Like, it's good. I liked it.
But do you think we find it good and funny because the rest of the movie is such shit that something that's passable immediately seems better than it actually is?
I think that the benefit of this moment, this scene, yes, is that it's kept very simple. They're not trying to do anything crazy. They're not trying to, recreate anime stuff in live action. It's just a very basic, simple joke, misunderstanding. And in this case, anything that they do that they can just be kept at very simple is probably a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say with that is I agree for sure. Mm-hmm. But we meet Master Roshi, played by Chow Yun-fat, and we get the obligatory fight scene before they realize who each other are. But I know for a fact that this version of Roshi is not what fans of the franchise are used to, correct?
Yeah, the Master Roshi that I'm familiar with from Dragon Ball Z is a clearly elderly-looking man, right? Wherein this Chow Yun looks still relatively young for the most part. And he is just like an oversexed, like, womanizer. I wouldn't say sexed, perverted. Let's just say he's a pervert.
Oh, good. Yeah, like you mentioned before, he keeps his Dragon Ball in a trunk with random garbage, emphasizing the importance of these orbs.
Well, yeah, because he's drunk, so he doesn't know what he's doing.
It's a fun character, I do have to say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with it too, though.
Oh, yes, there are. Roshi says that Goku is the key, and that's why Gohan trained him. Okay.
He's the key to what? I don't know, but exactly. He needs to be trained with his key.
We get the Shadow Crane strike, which I thought was actually hilarious, because he tries to take out Roshi with it, who dodges, and it just smacks Bulma right in the face, throws her across the room. Yeah. I don't know how good Bulma would feel and how quickly she'd get up from that, as she's
she's not one of those humans that's magical or trained in martial arts. She's just a human. She probably would have like some broken bones.
You can imagine her arms busted up, her nose is broken, there's just blood pouring down her face. She can't walk properly.
I mean, that's probably what it should be, but hey, it's a family-friendly movie.
Piccolo's airship. He evaporates all of the water on the land below him to uncover another Dragon Ball, which, albeit, is quite badass, but also, why is a Dragon Ball just in a swamp, basically?
That's a good question. Clearly, none of these are being kept in a well-hidden or fortified place. Leaving one with Goku doesn't seem so bad anymore, does it?
I guess not. But really, all Piccolo has to do is, wait until Goku and Gohan are out of the house. Go in, take it. Go into the village. Wait until that person's out of the house. Take it. Find this one that's in the swamp. Take it.
But Goku had his with him at the party, right? So he couldn't just go in and take it.
I guess. Unless he goes into the party undercover.
Oh, yeah. Nobody would notice that.
Yeah. Honestly, everybody in this movie is an idiot. So no, they probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much are, yeah.
Roshi gropes Bulma on her bike.
I'm surprised it took him that long.
Yeah, from what I've heard before, you think it would be almost immediate. Or at least he'd say something uncouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
Goku
try to ask her for a pair of her underwear or something like that, yeah.
Is that really what he does?
He'd do that kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. Goku, Bulma, and Roshi go to a secret training ground, only to discover that it's now a popular training spot. And Chi-Chi is there. Some of the best dialogue, and by best I mean shittiest, is in this scene, and I love it. Chi-Chi telling Goku, I heard about your grandfather's accident. I'm so sorry. The house collapsed? Grandfather's accident, huh? The house came down on him? But before this, she tells Goku that she's training for a tournament in Toisan. That's what she wanted to tell him before he left the party. He then asks her what she wanted to tell him, and she reiterates she's a fighter.
That's why she recognized the key.
I don't think this was intentional comedy, though. I think it's actually just bad writing.
I don't think it was unintentional comedy either.
Oh, it's definitely unintentional comedy. We get handstand training in a trailer attached to Bulma's bike, which is ridiculous. A trap leads him to falling in a hole and Roshi groping Bulma yet again.
I'm surprised it took this long for him to do it again.
Yeah. Well, we get the intro to the bandit Yamcha. This character seems right out of an anime to me. And I think he actually fits more than anybody else in this movie. Yeah. Yeah. Is he an actual character?
Yeah, Yamcha is a character. He's the Kenny of the Dragon Ball universe, and that he dies a lot.
He dies?
Many times, yeah. It's a meme. It's a meme at this point that Yamcha dies.
All right. Do they explain how he comes back to life?
Well, the thing about the wishes with the Dragon Ball is that once you make a wish, the Dragon Balls deactivate. I think it's for like a year's time, and then you can collect them again. And there's been multiple circumstances where they've used wishes to revive the fallen victims of the antagonists in the different sagas.
Well, that's a good way to keep the story going, I guess. Not bad.
Yeah.
Inventive.
But like Yamcha's just fodder. He never does anything useful. And it's like towards the end of it, he just stops trying to fight and is just like an ally.
Well, that night, still in the trap, Roshi tells the story of Piccolo and Ozaru.
Almost like the info dump we got at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, very much, right? What are your thoughts on this?
I have thoughts on this scene, but I not this part of it. Like my thought on this exact moment is, yeah, we could have just done this instead of the info dump at the beginning.
Yeah. If Ozaru is a disciple of Piccolo, but he's the one to destroy the world, isn't he truly the big bad of the movie?
Well, I mean, that's more of a question like, what's more dangerous, the gun or the person holding it, right? Like, I can let that part of it go because, yeah, Umaru might have been controlled by Piccolo or whatever the case may be. But keep going.
So Roshi simply jumps out of the trap and offers Yamcha money for his help excavating the nearby Dragon Ball.
Okay, come on. You are on a timer. You know Piccolo is a threat. You're chasing these Dragon Balls, and yet you don't jump out of the pit immediately.
I don't think Piccolo's a threat because he doesn't do anything.
No, but Roshi's telling you the story in the pit about Piccolo as if he's a big threat. So even if
Yes.
it's just in Roshi's mind that he's a threat, why are you wasting time sitting in here begging Yamcha to let you out, telling stories? Jump out immediately. You do not have time to mess around.
So the team's at what? 4 people now? I'm all for building a posse in adventure movies. I like that. Piccolo blood extraction scene. Creating monsters, I guess. Does this happen? Or is this new to the movie?
This is completely new to me. I don't know. If this is in Dragon Ball, I am completely unaware of it.
So the team finds it next Dragon Ball after breaking into a cave system. And how is there lava everywhere this close to the surface? And nobody seems to know about it.
I can't.
Yamcha scorches his balls on a steam vent. I
That's-
felt bad for
that makes
laughing.
sense. Yeah, that
I
makes sense.
laughed at it.
That's what Yamcha does. Yamcha's comic relief. Yeah.
The humor is so unbalanced in this. It's okay because the movie's shit, but
And any joy you can derive from it, just take it. Don't question.
and that's just it. And I think it's actually amplified because the movie is so terrible that things that aren't that funny seem a lot funnier than they are, which we just talked about recently. But this is a perfect example of that.
I'm okay with that.
These monsters attack and Goku kills them using their bodies to traverse a lake of lava and get the Dragon Ball.
Okay, this might be one of those situations of relative terms here, but I think it was a little clever that he used the bodies to traverse the lava. That made a little sense to me.
Yes. The problem there is, before he comes up with the plan, as soon as he throws a body in the lava, it melts immediately. Now he can just throw like 9 of them in, and they stay intact for him to jump from body to body to get to the other side.
Yeah.
So it's inconsistent.
No, he
All
threw
within
it
about
into
30 seconds.
he threw it into a spot of the lava that was a little bit cooler.
Traversing the entire lake of lava.
Yeah. He used his ki to spot out the more cool sections of the lava.
I'm so mad at Cody right now.
I'm having a great time.
Good,
For
I'm
the third
glad.
time.
Yeah, let's hit stop. Let's go. Take 4.
Oh, dude, I forgot to hit record.
Yeah, great. Well, we're moving on to another movie. Goku's having visions. He tells Roshi that Uzaru will kill all of them. Yeah, we know. We've heard it 4 times already. And here's the best example of how a rewatch actually can be rewarding, though, because you see that look on Roshi's face that tells us he knows who Goku is and what's really going on. And it's actually pretty good. I thought it was a nice touch.
Well, he saw the tail.
Shut up. Apparently, the only thing that can stop Piccolo is in Toyzan. So off we go. And here we get Ernie Hudson as Sifu Norris, which I thought came out of nowhere, but I feel like you have something to say about this.
It just broke my heart to see him have to do this movie. Like,
I know.
maybe he didn't have to. I don't know why he's in it, but like, I just saw this and I'm like, man, I expected better from you.
It is nice to see Ernie Hudson on screen.
Yeah.
It always is. But yeah, it was really, really sad. Do you want to try and explain what the Mafuba is?
Ineffective.
Apparently.
This is the best part of this. Like, we have to go there. It's the only thing that can stop him. It's like it did last time?
Yeah, you already did it. It did not stop him.
No. I mean, yeah, for a while. But like, maybe you need to shore up the ideas here a little bit and reinforce them and find a better way.
Cut to Chi-Chi's fighting tournament where she's fighting Mai, who scratches Chi-Chi and then willingly forfeits the fight. Yes, go on. Go on.
So, spoiler alert for anybody who's still considering watching this that hasn't. She kind of uses it to like gain the ability to shapeshift as her.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Explain
does.
how scratching her gives her that ability. Does she draw blood from it and absorb it?
I guess. But she, like, is she containing it? Can she forever turn into Chi-Chi now? Because it seems like she uses her nail. So, is there a time frame?
Could she go to a blood bank and be infinitely shapeshifting?
It would make sense.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It just
go around
happens.
and scratch everybody.
Yeah. You don't even need to be in the fight in the tournament. You could walk by her in a crowd and just like scratch her.
How did she get into the tournament?
How did any of them get into the tournament? I don't know.
Yeah, but it seems like Mai is with Piccolo at all times. So is she like registering for this tournament?
Yep.
Perfect. Goku and Chi-Chi reconnect, because of course they do. And Bulma and Yamcha flirt, because of course they do. Roshi teaches Goku the Kamehameha, harnessing the power of the universe. I can't believe I'm talking about things like this, man. It's so ridiculous. Goku tries to practice by using it to light candles in the courtyard. And I think you and I can agree this is just another scene for Goku and Chi-Chi to get closer, like literally and figuratively.
I don't know why, but I hate this scene.
It's awful. That's why you hate it.
Like, he can't do the candle thing, and then she just comes in and she's like, I think you can do it. And then he does it. It's like,
yeah.
All right. Like, you contributed nothing to this. What was it? Power of love?
Just play the song and move on. Come on. But bit of rewatch value here. A quote of, Grandpa always said in order to master my ki, I have to be one with myself and my enemy. Yeah, because we already know where this is going. I think we've all figured it out at this point.
No, where's it going?
Oh my god. Sandro's movie.
I must have missed this in my 4 viewings.
Stop. Stop.
Oh, he uses the May scratching ability to turn into his enemy to figure it out. I got it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I'm glad. Thank you for telling everybody so I don't have to watch it, but that's 100% it.
It's a good honestly, thing you got my eagle eye on these viewings. So.
Oh, that night, Bulma wakes up and discovers Chi-Chi acting weird. And that's because it's actually Mai who used Chi-Chi's blood to take on her appearance and steal the Dragon Balls. Mm-hmm. So they just leave the Dragon Balls all together in a room?
Yep. That is the method of safely preserving them.
Even though they know others are looking for them.
Yep. And that they're at the place that, quote unquote, is the only one that can stop Piccolo, that they wouldn't try to put it under any sort of locking.
Nothing. Mai and the real Chi-Chi fight. Goku intervenes, but mistakes the two and knocks out the real Chi-Chi.
Do we have to see this?
Then gets shot.
How many times do we have to see this? Falling for the doppelganger. Like, it happens in so many properties, and they never get the right one.
Trope after trope after trope. As Goku's dying, he has a vision of Gohan. He asks how he's supposed to defeat Ozaru, and again, Gohan tells him to always have faith in who he is, even though he doesn't know who he is. But we do. We all see where this is going.
Now, you see, if you want to defeat your enemy, just don't be revived right now.
Right, yeah. Imagine Gohan just goes down on one knee. He's like, look, Goku, I'm going to give you the best advice I can right now. Die. Don't fight it. Just embrace the cold embrace, the cold hug of death, and just sink into those dark waters. You'll save everyone. Trust me.
Yep.
But Roshi resuscitates Goku, and this movie continues.
So Roshi is the real antagonist. Got it.
Right. Piccolo now has all the Dragon Balls and heads to the Dragon Temple to summon Shenron, the dragon who will grant the one wish.
What do you think his wish was going to be?
I don't know. Destroy Earth.
But he's going to use Umaru as a tool for that.
I don't know. Don't be green. I want to be a real boy.
Can you just imagine? He's just like, his wish was, I want all the money in the world, and then I'll just send this ape out to do all the damage. It's just like,
I want all the money in the world, and then I'll send out my ape henchmen to destroy the world, so the money I wished for is completely useless.
Yeah, like, none of this adds up. I know what I'm saying sounds ridiculous, but it's not much worse than what really is happening.
No, it's right on par. Yamcha's flying car. If you like the motorcycle, I assume you like this too.
Oh, how can you not like a flying car, dude? Because since like Back to the Future 2, I've been down for a flying car.
It's fine.
And a hoverboard.
Well, I mean, everybody wants a hoverboard.
Yeah, you wouldn't say no to a flying car either, dude.
Yeah. I'd be more comfortable on a hoverboard, though. I feel like there'd be a lot of crashes happening in a flying car.
Well, not if you're.
Does everyone else have a flying car? Or do you have the only flying car?
No, just
in the world, I'm the only one with a flying car.
Okay, maybe like 5 or 6, but what are the chances you're going to run into each other?
I don't know. Where are they?
I don't know.
Is it like spread evenly around the world? Like if they're all in Halifax, no. Because
he's the only one. That's Piccolo's wish is going to be to get his own flying car.
Why didn't he just steal Yamcha's then?
He's already got a flying ship.
Well, he could just take a flying car. He doesn't have to wish for one.
I love that we're analyzing the merits of this movie at this point.
I know, you're right. Goku suits up, and Piccolo drops the info bomb that Goku will turn into Ozaru during the eclipse. I'm shocked.
Wait,
Goku is...
What?
Yeah.
Goku?
Mm-hmm.
Who saw that coming?
Not Goku. I'll tell you that much. Goku's the only one who didn't see this coming. In fact, Roshi knew for a fact and just didn't tell him. Gohan knew and just didn't tell him. Could you imagine if one of them was like, hey, look, man, I know you're a teenager and things are going on with your body that, are kind of strange, but you're going to turn into this giant ape creature who's probably going to destroy the world, but you need to harness your inner strength to defeat it. When this green alien comes out of the sky and there's this weird total solar eclipse, you're going to feel weird. You're going to turn into a monster. Do whatever you can to stop it and save the world. Don't hide it from him and let him try and figure that out on his own. Because you imagine if he couldn't and just destroy it? You know what? Let him destroy the world. That'd be great. End this universe all at once.
I just find it funny because Gohan's even training him in preparation. And it's just in this situation, that information would probably be the most viable preparation that he could have.
Exactly. And then the transformation
suspense. What happens next?
He transforms into Ozaru.
Can we talk about how horrible this looks?
It is atrocious.
Oh, man. This is some of the worst. I don't know. Is this practicals, do you think, or is it CGI? Is
this practical?
No, practical.
This is the worst CG I have ever seen.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. No, honestly, he looks more like a werewolf than an ape.
You probably would have been better off at going to Spirit Halloween and just buying a gorilla Halloween costume.
Definitely. Ozaru kills Roshi, which honestly I did not anticipate, but
that's what you get, Roshi. You should have told us.
Remembers everything Gohan taught him and reverts back to Goku. So the big bad's on screen for not even a minute.
So, this is where that preparation comes into play, because how does he overcome his transformation? Willpower. You know what would help him with willpower? Knowledge. Hey, Goku, you're going to turn into this beast. What you need to do is practice focusing to just snap out of it. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Good, yeah, all right. Be ready. Preparation.
Instead, get on those ropes and don't fall off.
Yeah. Attack this old man. Goku then kicks the shit out of Piccolo while Bulma and Yamcha take care of Mai.
Because Piccolo was never a threat, right? In Dragon Ball, Piccolo was a threat. In this, Piccolo was just the one that was going to pull the trigger on the actual threat. So once that was gone, you just beat the shit out of him and you're done. It's and that's actually
hilarious.
But that's kind of sad, because if you know the character Piccolo's an awesome character in the anime. And they absolutely shit all over him.
I don't think he's the only one they shit all over. I don't know. I haven't watched it, but
you should.
I think really they did the characters dirty. Yeah. I'll tell you what. No. With all the Dragon Balls now in his possession, Goku wishes Roshi back to life. Shenron looks awful.
Yeah, of course.
And it's probably the best CG in the movie, and it still looks terrible.
I just love how he's bring Roshi back to life. It's what about Gohan, you jerk?
Yeah.
Or in the show,
everyone who died as a result of Piccolo trying to get the Dragon Balls, please bring them back to life. You know that destroyed city with all those innocents? Let's give them another shot, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Because they do that in Dragon Ball Z. They're there's one where they're fighting an enemy named Frieza, and they're just bring back everybody that died because of Frieza. And it's just boom, yeah, no problem. We'll bring them all back. But it's just Roshi. It's man, you wasted this wish.
Yeah, you're bad at life.
Yeah.
Bulma tells us that the Dragon Balls are gone, and they have to track them down again, which I guess is their attempt at setting up a sequel. I know it's a cherished property, but anybody who saw the final cut of this movie, who would have thought that it was going to be a big enough hit to warrant more?
Nope.
No. Goku and Chi-Chi agree to settle things with a fight. Settle what?
They weren't really fighting.
I know. Let's settle this. So
Maybe
what?
she's mad that he picked the wrong one when that was the shapeshift. Like, how dare you?
And also, can you imagine, like, anybody who's editing this is like, oh god, we just painted ourselves into a corner. Roll credits. But we get a mid-credit scene. Piccolo is alive. Not that it matters. And that's it.
So, like, let's just ignore the property that this came from, right? Because there, Piccolo would be a threat. It's like, what part of this movie made you think that if Piccolo was alive and came back, that Goku wouldn't just beat the shit out of him again in like 5 minutes?
Just murder him.
You'd be like,
Kill
but
him.
even then, be like, okay, come back. Like, we got you.
Oh my god. I hate that I've seen this movie multiple times and I've had to talk about it for longer than the movies ran. It's okay. People make mistakes, like the people that made this movie. And Cody.
All right, so that's the movie. Why don't we get into some numbers? What you got for me here?
Fine. How much do you think this abomination cost?
Cost? I mean, they probably
The budget.
They must have gone all out on this CGI budget.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
I'm gonna go 12 million.
It's a lot more than that.
No,
It's 30. It did make more than $30 million, but what do you think the gross was?
51.
Very close. 56 and a half.
Okay. I feel like a movie with like this, even if it was just before like reviews became mainstream, people would have gone on like opening weekend just based on the name, and then word of mouth would have spread.
I agree. But I'm wondering if preview screenings were so bad that the word got out to stay away from the theaters. That's
Maybe
all
it
I
was-
can imagine.
Maybe it was so bad they were like, we're just not going to do preview screen.
I bet you they didn't, actually.
Like just put it out and try to recoup whatever you can.
You know what? I need to look this up, actually. I wonder when, what month was this released? Was this dumped in January?
Oh, because then they might have gotten away with the holidays not doing screenings. We're not going to do a screening during Christmas, like people are busy with their families.
March. Nope. Around the world, March and April. April in the States. So no, they actually thought this might have been something. Joke's on you. You lost. IMDb rating much higher than I would have expected. What do you think it got out of 10?
Much higher than you would have expected? So
Yeah.
like a 4?
You're guessing 4?
Well, I mean, if it's much higher than expecting, I'm going to go with 4. I'm not going to go higher than that if it's much higher.
Okay, I got a 2.5.
See, now that I wouldn't say that's much higher.
Than what I think it deserves? Yes, it is.
Yeah, like maybe it's a 1.5. I don't know.
All right, well, let's move on over to Rotten Tomatoes. Tomato meter.
See, now this is where I'd say 17%.
14.
Okay, yeah, it's close. Yeah, that's
I
where I
should
said
say-
the IMDb should be like a 1.5.
I have to let people listening know that I'm using notes that were typed up at the time we originally recorded this 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So these may have changed, but the audience score, which is known as the popcorn meter, I think now, not audience score. What do you think the audience gave it?
Okay, so critics was 14.
Yes,
21.
19.
Okay, not far.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
I'm so happy how close I was on these guesses, but then you look at the actual numbers in question.
Yeah, exactly. This movie is a disaster. Should we get into the awards?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have Cody's picks in front of me. I will start with those, and then we'll go to our original order of you first, me first, you first, me first.
Okay.
So for... Oh, 1 second. Who is your least favorite character? Goku, Bulma, Yamcha. Pick one. I hated them all, is what Cody wrote.
I mean, it's open season on everybody in this movie, really.
Yeah. You can tell that his enjoyment of the movie is not very high based on his answers, too.
Yeah.
So, who did you have for least?
Piccolo, because he does absolutely nothing in the movie.
Okay.
There's no character development whatsoever. He's just there. And then he gets the shit kicked out of him.
Okay.
You?
I went with Emmy Rossum as Bulma. I can find some enjoyment out of a number of the characters, and maybe not for the best reasons. Maybe some I laugh at because they're so bad. Goku I do find a little charming, but with Bulma, it's just like you're just a really dumb, smart person who, outside of creating the Dragon Ball detector, really does nothing in this movie. And some of the delivery I found was quite poor. I mean, relatively speaking, but yeah.
Who did Cody have as a favorite character?
So he actually had Piccolo as his favorite character. And it was because he had the least amount of lines, so I despised him the least.
I was going to joke because he had minimal screen time.
But that's exactly why he picked. None of Cody's answers make me think he likes this movie at all.
No,
he just wanted us to feel his pain.
Yeah, he definitely punished us on this.
Yeah.
And then technology punished us. And then you punished us. And then Cody punished us again.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'm just sitting here with a smile on my face.
Favorite character?
So I had Chow Yun-Fat as Roshi. Just because Roshi was so over the top cartoon character that he was the one that maybe as a whole felt like he didn't stand out the most here, and was a little bit closer to his cartoon counterpart by being a perv.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm really grasping at straws here for reasons.
I also picked Roshi, Chow Yun-Fat as Roshi, and it's because the character I thought was actually pretty funny. But there are times when you look at Chow Yun-Fat's face, and you can tell he's thinking, "Oh, this movie's just bullshit." Like he's like, "This is going to be a great paycheck, and this is I don't even have to try. I just don't have to try because I can't save it. It's a disaster film."
Oh, okay. Then.
Move on.
So what
memorable line?
Yes. So for Cody, he wrote, "Normal is also overrated. You must have faith in who you are." I actually had to look something up because nothing stood out while I watched it. And yours?
Surprisingly enough, one did stand out to me, and it's Goku, and I thought it was a pretty badass line.
Okay.
At the party after the fight.
Okay.
He's like, "And hey, Fuller, your boys have been showing me what they got. Nothing."
That's pretty good.
It is good.
I can see how that would fit into a better movie. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's a Roadhouse line.
Yeah. Which was a good movie, unlike this.
Yes. What was yours?
So mine was, he's not listed. Did you try Master? M-A-S. And then Bulma just, idiot.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite line and joke in the movie. And part of it is also, I didn't say this when we talked about it then, but I think that the delivery by Goku in that was phenomenal. Because like he had like the look on his face to match, like he sincerely thought that she needed help. Like it was just, it was one of those examples of what I was saying, in that he was somewhat likable because of the charm that came through on occasion. And then it was a little bit because of his ignorance, but it was still a fun line.
You can tell he genuinely was trying. Like he was really, really trying. And you have to commend him on that, because it was a very poorly written character. The only reason I picked favorite character was Roshi. I thought was a lot of fun, and Chow Yun-Fat played him really well. I think Goku was a terrible character, but was played as well as you possibly could play him.
Yeah, like I said multiple times, like he had so little to work with. The deck was stacked against him. Like nobody really could have saved this movie. Like no casting would have saved this movie.
No, I agree.
All right, so for favorite or most memorable scene, the first fight scene on the ropes. It was the first instance that this was going to be more cartoony than the actual anime.
Woof.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
It was the first instance that you knew that the movie was going to be more cartoony than the actual anime. But I'd argue that that's not a reason for it to be good. Although it might just be his most memorable, not his favorite. right? Because we do say favorite or most memorable. I'm going to give Cody a little bit of credit here and assume that it's for the memorable part.
Yeah.
And then for me, I had the car fight scene. Outside of the head slide dodge, this was maybe the most clever scene in the entire movie, and it was pretty enjoyable. It's like the one scene where if somebody was like, you have to recommend one scene for somebody to pull up on YouTube from this movie, that would be the only one that I'd be like, yeah, you could check this one out and not be embarrassed to recommend it.
Yeah. It is the best scene in the movie. But I had to go with memorable, and that is the reveal of Bulma's motorcycle.
Okay.
Because if I were handwriting these notes instead of typing them, this would have been where I threw all the papers up in the air and just walked away. But when you're typing, you can't do that. It's like getting really angry with somebody on a cell phone and not being able to slam it down. You just have to like hit end call.
Yeah.
It's just so anticlimactic and just not rewarding. At that point, I fully gave up on this movie.
It just makes me think of this scene from The Simpsons where I forget if it was Bart or Homer, but like had like an inner thought monologue, and it was like, well, you have to stay here, but I'm out of here. And you just see a shadow image of the brain like floating out of there.
It's just...
All right, so Ben, those are the awards. Let's get to final thoughts.
By far one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's really bad when the best thing you can say about a movie is that one of the actors tried. I mean, what else do you say? I have no knowledge of the source material, and while everyone assures me that it is much better than the movie makes me not want to ever touch this franchise ever again. The visuals were horrid. The writing was absolutely terrible. The plot of the movie itself is nonsensical. It is a horrible movie. It is a terrible film. I never want to watch it again. I don't want to talk about it again. And I feel like the next time someone mentions it, I'm probably going to have to slap them. What are your thoughts?
I, for one, am shocked. I didn't know you were going to go in that direction. I thought you would love it. I think that if you see this movie in like a cheap bin, clearance bin, pick it up and destroy it and do your contribution to human society by removing its existence. Yes. Honestly, like repeat viewings, I didn't hate the movie as much, but I think it's because after the first time, I was so disappointed. I was so unimpressed that like my brain just checked out and was like, whatever. Right? Like, I'm just going to sit through this again. And like, I've literally died to it. The movie has killed my enjoyment of media at that moment. So yeah, I don't recommend.
No. When you're watching a movie and one of the thoughts you have is, oh shit, I'm going to have to talk about this. You know, you're in for a bad time.
3 times.
Yeah. 3 times. Did Cody have any final thoughts?
No, I don't have a section for that in the question.
Okay.
All right. So those are our thoughts on Dragon Ball Evolution. If you'd like to share your thoughts with us, hit us up on social media. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Just look up BS Bargain Bin. Ben.
Yeah.
It can't get any worse than this.
Agreed.
So I have to ask you, what movie are we watching next time?
Next time we're going to be talking about a movie that we briefly mentioned in our last intermission episode. And we will be talking about a very recent film because we will be talking 2025's Wolfman.
Ginger? Ginger, are you okay? Look at me. Look at me. Charlotte, are you hurt? Are you hurt? Are you okay? Hey, we gotta get out of this thing. Hey, no. Don't move. Climb up through the window right there. You can do it. You'll be okay. You okay? We have have to leave right now. Run.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? We were in an accident.
Daddy, are we gonna die?
No, it's my job to protect you.
And we were attacked. I think my husband was infected. Mike. Mike. Mike.
Daddy. Daddy. What's wrong with Daddy?
He got sick.
What is happening to me?
Can you understand me? Yeah. You're scaring me. Back off!
Please, Daddy's mean. Hurry, Mommy is coming.
Come on.
All right. Until next time, have a good one.
All the best.